All right, we're picking back up again. Today we're going to finish reading that I have made in His image from our 31 days of looking at ourselves through the lens of our Father. And so the heart of the matter is, the truth is, Eve didn't need to eat the fruit to be like God. She was in His likeness already. She was created as a living, ruling being responsible for creating, multiplying, tending, and growing Eden. In mankind's attempt to make ourselves like God, our image became tainted. Now our identity was not determined by what God Creator had done, but by the distortion of Satan. We have become slaves to what we see rather than children living by design. And if He can keep our self-image distorted in our mind, then He will keep our purpose hidden. The reality is that we were created in the exact image and likeness of God, and that terrifies Satan. When we walk knowing our true identity, we are a direct threat to his kingdom. And so, in Hebrew, the word image means resemblance or cutout. And that's what, in one of the commentaries that I read, it actually uses the phrase or equates it to like a cookie cutter. And so if you've got your dough out and you take your cookie cutter and you cut your cookies, they're in the exact same shape. And that's what this resemblance or this exact replica means. So when Paul says for the church not to be conformed to this world, I loved that the Passion Translation says don't be squeezed into the mold. And so that would be like if you took that dough or you took that cookie that you have, that those are all the same, and you put a different shape over it, it's not going to be the same. Trying to put, I think of tractors and trains because that's what my kids love, or airplanes. So I have tractors, trains, and airplanes cookie cutters. If I take the tractor cookie cutter or cookie, the one I've cut out, and I try to squeeze it into that airplane, it's going to be distorted. It's not going to be what it was intended to be. And that is what Satan presses on us. It's a pressing. That's what persecution is. If you define persecution in the Greek, it's a pressing, and it is pressure to shift and to change and to be squeezed and to conform. Really, pressure to conform. And we cannot succumb to that pressure. We cannot give in to the pressure. We are to be evidence. We are to be proof that who God created us to be in his exact image, that it works, that he will do what he said he will do, that he will empower us, that he has empowered us, and we should be evidence of that empowering. So Satan, your enemy, is constantly bombarding your mind with thoughts contrary to God. For wherever you are in life, whatever your situation may be, Satan strikes at you. He bombards you, that he assaults your mind with lies, though plausible. That's the thing, is that he doesn't come out with outlandish lies. He comes out with lies that really could be considered as truth or as fact, just like he did with Eve. He comes in to deceive and delude us to a distorted image of who we are. But Jesus and his finished work on the cross, his death made payment for sin, and his resurrection broke the power of sin. He no longer gets to say, you're a failure. He no longer gets to say, you'll never make it. He no longer gets to say, you'll never see the promise. You'll never be who God intended or who he wanted you to be. Satan doesn't get to do that anymore because of Jesus. And so just because Jesus has come and destroyed the power of death doesn't mean that Satan's going to stop trying. So this whole study, this whole place where we are headed is to train our minds to recognize, oh, that's the voice of the enemy. That thought is not my thought. It is contrary to what God has said. It is in opposition to what the Word has said. Here's what the truth is. And then we begin to cover the lie of the enemy with the word of truth. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to learn how to do. And I want you there with me. All right, we'll pick up here tomorrow. Bye, y'all.